Welcome to the Scottish Rite Journal podcast, an audio presentation of the Scottish Rite Journal, brought to you by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. This week's article is Drawing from Chalk, Charcoal, and Clay, Part 3, Clay, by Brother Adam Lee Buffington, 32nd degree, and comes from the January-February 2025 issue of the Scottish Rite Journal. At the close of the entered apprentice degree, newly made masons are introduced to the symbols of chalk, charcoal, and clay. Concluding with the third article of a three-part series, the author draws our attention to clay. Masons will recall that there is nothing more zealous than clay, or our Mother Earth. Such zeal is applied by the author to explaining the symbol of clay and our spiritual transformation of the self. Mark Dreisenstock, 33rd degree, Managing Editor, Scottish Rite Journal. Among the elements of chalk, charcoal, and clay, clay is the most zealous of the lot. This may be slightly ironic, as to dust scriptural passages such as Job chapter 33 verse 6. I also am formed out of the clay, hardly suggests zeal. This leads to the question, how does the clay out of which we are made become dynamic with the actions of the created human being? Being zealous, of course, means showing great energy in pursuit of a cause or objective. How do we usually show great enthusiasm? Through emotions we have as we pursue our objective. This is readily seen in everyday life if we but look around us. We see the passion of individuals who are in a theatrical play or who are performing music or dance, and by people at sporting events. I myself was part of the college marching band at the University of Iowa and attended each home game. Emotions were high, fans were screaming, flags were waving, everyone was showing zeal for the game, before, during, and after, especially if we won. Clay represents these emotions that we have within ourselves, and it also shows how we can shape them to our pursuits. Whenever we come to a new event in our lives, whether it be visiting a new place, experiencing a new event, taking a new course, hearing new music, or listening to a new paper on astonishing alchemical knowledge, the first reaction we will notice within ourselves is our emotional response to that situation. It is this very response that will determine our future interactions with that moment. When pursuing the entered apprentice degree itself, we are often in very high states of emotion. We are at first uncertain with the unfamiliar lodge and its surroundings, but we later become fascinated and energetic as we proceed, and we may be overwhelmed by the end. So is it also with clay. We need to shape and mold our emotions to allow us to follow great and sublime pursuits, thereby becoming better individuals and better brothers. Yet we are also not alone for the shaping. As brothers in our great fraternity, there are many fellow craftsmen who can help shape ourselves and properly channel these torrents of emotions as we set out on the Masonic path. To further understand clay, we should also examine the alchemical element of water and its association with emotions and the unconscious. Soft clay is a combination of the elements of water and earth. This dual nature shows us how clay is associated with zeal and with the emotional makeup of the mason. It symbolically combines the aspects of earth, the material body of man, and water, man's fluid emotional aspect, to create a substance that can be molded. Dry clay is hard and very unmoving, but when we add water, it becomes pliable and easily holds the designs we impress upon it. If we add too much water, the clay becomes a sloppy mess that can move in an uncontrolled manner and cause chaos. We can see this type of action with unruly mobs when the emotions overflow. In peaceful protests, groups of individuals keep their emotions disciplined as they express the point they feel compelled to convey. Yet sometimes there are individuals with too much water within their clay, leading to havoc and chaos. Yet if we add too little water, we cannot shape or be shaped. we become indifferent to what is going on around us, or even dangerously unyielding. Thus, we need the wisdom to know how much water is necessary for the clay to make a meaningful shape. We need to control the flow of our emotions to shape ourselves appropriately and also be shaped by those with greater wisdom. Summarizing our whole series, we need to understand that the base substances of chalk, charcoal, and clay are metaphysical analogs for a person's spiritual, mental, and emotional faculties. By being able to take a more speculative, alchemical view of these substances in conjunction with the classical four elements of fire, earth, air, and water, an individual can see how the brother in his baser self, the entered apprentice state, may come to serve his inner master, that is, his higher, more perfected spiritual state. By being able to balance the elemental forces within us, by reviewing and understanding the symbolism of chalk, charcoal, and clay, we start on a path to better ourselves in our actions and in our lives. Like and share this article, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you wish to comment, please leave one, and as a reminder, hit the notifications bell. Any accompanying photographs or citations for this article can be found in the corresponding print edition. The Scottish Rite Journal is published by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. Mark Dreisenstock, 33rd degree, Managing Editor. I'm your host, Matt Bowers.